What's up, guys? In this video, I'll show you how you can carry your teammates using Roam Masha. First thing you should do is find enemies you can reveal so you can get gold and EXP instantly, then help your mage clear the minion waves so they can rotate right away, or just go near your jungler and you can also get gold and EXP with that. My very first build is Rapid Boots because it helps a lot with what I want to do. Faster rotation and HP regen. I was already level 2 at this part, and I was lucky enough to steal a jungle creep from the enemies here. Our jungler was farming really slowly, and then he even used Retribution on the Letho. Unlucky for him, the enemy jungler invaded and even managed to steal his purple buff. Here, I already reached level 4 after revealing the enemies at the turtle. We didn't have the chance to contest, so I just targeted their mage here and killed her. But my teammates still tried to contest. Our jungler was only level 3, so he was really at a disadvantage there. If you have a stubborn teammate who always forces a turtle fight, don't join them. Just look for an isolated enemy and kill them. It's better if it's the mage or marksman since they're usually squishy. Masha isn't really for early game, and she's weak against multiple enemies like the ones they had, especially if the enemy jungler is a utility type. If it's an assassin jungler, then you can zone them, but it's still not guaranteed that you'll secure the turtle, especially if your jungler is underleveled and your EXP laner is casually feeding. Here my teammates were being really stubborn. Our jungler wasn't even contesting anymore and was already far away, but they probably thought they could steal the turtle without a jungler. Because of that, our marksman got picked off and killed. I defended this bottom lane turret all by myself, and I wasn't going to let the enemies push it just like that. I knew I could do something about it. In situations like this, always target the marksman because they're the fastest at pushing and also the easiest to kill. Even if they have teammates around, they won't be able to do much against you when you're using Masha. So don't be afraid in these kinds of situations. Be aggressive, especially if you're not behind in gold. Later in the late game, that's what Phovius said. It feels really good when you have a teammate like this because you know you'll have someone to rely on in the late game. I know Phovius is supposedly stronger in the early game and he counters Arlot, but I think he was giving Arlot some leeway and saving his real strength to use in the late game. I just let Arlot ripen here before taking him down. That way I'd get more gold when I killed him. Plus players like that tend to get overconfident when they're dominating their lane. He thought he could take on all his enemies. The enemies didn't kill the last turtle and intentionally left it so they could go straight for the Lord at the 8-minute mark, and they did manage to secure it. My KDA was still perfect at this point, and even my teammates' KDAs were also perfect. Guys, if you're up against an Arlot in the EXP lane who's on a damage build, and you're using a sustain hero, it's better to prioritize building Dreadnought armor first. That way, there's a lower chance of you getting bursted by Arlot's combo, especially if you're using Phovius, since even without damage items, he already hurts a lot. You can even rush Antique Cuirass or Dominance Ice. We managed to kill 3 enemies here and push the mid lane until the inhibitor turret's holy defense was triggered. Phovius even said here that Arlot is his counter. No bro, it's the other way around. Not a hard counter, but for sure Phovius has the advantage. You're just that dumb, bro, and I hope you're watching this. When you're playing Roam Masha, always choose the easiest target to kill. In this game, the enemy's marksman and mage were super easy to take down, which is why in the early game my priority was rotating to the gold lane and constantly solo killing their marksman. After that, I went for their mage. But I made a mistake here, not realizing that Wanwan already had Wind of Nature, and I got outplayed there. Still, it was fine because I managed to kill Arlot and Vexana. Then Akai's ultimate got burned, so my teammates were able to secure the Lord. But of course, classic teammates, they immediately tried to fight the enemy right after they got the Lord, even though they clearly couldn't win. They didn't even get a single kill and ended up getting wiped out. In situations like this, I already know exactly where I should position myself. And when it comes down to it, I really need to fight the enemies even if all 5 of them are there. For a lot of reasons. First, I know I can kill 1 or 2 of them. Second, most of their skills were already burned and Wan still didn't have Wind of Nature. So why would I wait for their skills, active items, and battle spells to go off cooldown, right? Third, some of them were already low on HP. If the enemy has the Lord, never try to cut the lane if you don't have enough burst to take down the Lord quickly. It'll just take longer to kill it that way. Like here, Arlot took too long to burst down the Lord, and by the time he did, the minions had already spawned, so they even became enhanced into Mega Minions. Farsa was very bold here. He used his ult right in front of Kalea and Akai. But in situations like this, I just focus on zoning the enemy's damage dealers so they can't follow up. And it's so easy to kill them since they're all hesitating. We dove into their turret here, which would have been fine, but Wan managed to use her ultimate. Phoveus is really something. Instead of countering the enemies, it felt like he was the one getting countered by them. But hey, remember he said later in the late game, so let's wait and see. Farsa was really bold again. He used his ultimate instead of just going back since his HP was already so low. And he did end up getting killed here. At least we got a trade since the bottom lane turret was pushed, so it was a really worth it trade. Yeah, even if it cost us 2 teammates, it was still worth it. That was clutch, because Wan had already stacked up and was about to use her ultimate. But luckily, I stunned and petrified her. She didn't even have time to react since she got bursted right away. And that's exactly the good thing I always say about Petrify. It prevents marksmen from using their Wind of Nature. Even with Wan's second skill, she couldn't press it in time because she was too busy spamming her ultimate, and she died before even realizing I was there. My main target was far away and Akai was using his body as a shield. That's fine, I just used him as a stepping stone. Here, if you have a dumb teammate with really bad positioning, just use them as bait like this. Here the Lord was about to spawn, and Farsa was up in the top lane with bad positioning again, so she got killed right away. It would have been worth it if she at least burned an enemy ultimate. Then we were already down 1 teammate, and yet these remaining teammates of mine were still the ones who started the Lord. But I just stayed patient here. Always choose the right target. See how many skills I burned there, and they still couldn't save their marksman. They couldn't even kill me or at least take half of my HP. Here I had a 50-50 chance to finish the game if I continued pushing mid, but I thought at least 2 enemies would be able to recall. I really thought I could just wipe them out and end the game, but it didn't happen. So it was probably a wrong decision, and we might end up losing because of it. This was such a clutch Petrify. Timed perfectly so Akai couldn't retribution even though he had ulted me. Then Kalea ulted me again, which actually pulled me closer to their marksman. That was clutch too because I managed to kill Wan. If not, the game might not have ended there. But yeah, we still won this game, even though it was hard from start to finish. I was waiting for Phoveus to actually do what he said back in the early game, but he never did. The match went past 20 minutes, and he only ended up looking even dumber.